intensely in many hours. Yes?
I didn't realize that I could have brought something, but I have a picture of my father, and it's on tin, but it's a big oval tin piece.
Okay.
And it's slightly rounded. That's not really a tin type, is it? Or
well, if it's a tin type, and they still would make them into weird shapes.
Oh, really?
I'm sure it is. There's no other. It's the iron plates, sheets. I mean, it's metal, right?
Yeah, and it's rounded.
Well, that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is. So let's work on another picture, okay? Let's get another picture. Did you? Yes.
A snapshot, colored one of a man and a baby.
Color, okay.
And it got stuck on another thing from Basir, and so it's got dots of white paper around the.
Yeah. Let me get it from you. If I don't trip and break something. Got it? It's in color. Yeah, we haven't had a color picture. This is perfect. Yeah. Oh, this is a good one. Okay. All right, I like this one. Okay, so here we go. How are we doing our time? 2:30. Okay. Okay, so it's not the easiest to see, but this is a faded out photo from April of 1972. It's got the date on it. Okay, that was a year before I was born. That was a long time ago, right? Did someone call me a baby? Man. Oh yeah, it was a good year. Okay. Okay, so I want to put this down here, okay? And let's do our preview. Now, what's nice about this picture is it has multiple problems. Yeah. So is this all right? Y'all learning something?
Yeah.
Okay, you being at least inspired to do something on your own. You feel a little more brave. It's like when I saw the plumber at my house yesterday, and he was finished with the work, and I paid him. I said, oh, I think I can do it now. But I probably will chicken out again. Okay, so let's get this crop box around here. And let's make our resolution 300, right? Or no, 72, right? We should make when we scan a picture, it should be at 72.
No.
Why not? Oh, 300?
Was that a pop quiz?
Yeah. Y'all are learning. Y'all are learning. Okay, so by the way, why would anyone use an image at 72? What's the use? For the internet? For the internet.
Email, yeah.
For email, for a website, right.
So
because
this is the picture I took, go to this website to download.
Exactly. And if you upload a 300 pixel per inch image up onto a website, it's going to be big, it's going to be huge. Okay, so let's open up the picture we just scanned. Oops. All right. So you see the problems, right? You can see what I meant by multiple problems. So first thing we see is that we have spots, we have some fingerprints, we have tears at the edges, and the color's kind of faded. So in this case, I'm going to crop the image area because borders are nice, but I can always rebuild the border. I can always remake a border. I like to start from scratch if possible, and I can redo that April 72, all that stuff. I can even put it back in later. But since I scanned it and saved it as the original, when I scanned it, it's saved. Now when I work on it and save it again, I remember I have to save it as a different name, right? Right? Because the original, you always want to be able to go back to the original, right? Okay. So let's deal with some of these spots. Now look up here. It looks like something stuck to the print too. Okay, so there's a lot of damage there. So the first thing I would do is go through the entire picture and get all of the spots that I could. Okay, and let me duplicate that background layer again. Oops, forgot to do that. Okay, and we're getting all the spots. We can use a clone stamp tool. We can use the healing brush. There's other techniques too that I use. I use what's called a history brush and a history palette a lot. We do that in the advanced tutorials over there. But for you, you know, I would just go through this. All right. So we get as many spots as we can, right? In event, we just go across this way, get all that stuff. Maybe on this crack, since we have dark area on the left and light area on the right, we want to maintain that kind of gradation. Healing brush might be a little better for that. Healing brush respects the the shading and the texture, or yeah, a little better than the clone stamp, because the clone stamp tool is just basically copying one part of a picture to another. And the clone stamp, what I mean by that is, look, I can give the little boy a third eye with the clone stamp tool. So I source this eye, you know, and do that. That's right, we don't want that. And so, right, if I use the healing brush in that case, let's see what happens. It kind of blends it in to the head, right? So the healing brush works a little different. It's not a complete copy, okay? So,
So that's where all those UFO pictures come from.
yeah, it's all fake. All those aliens in the Inquirer. Yeah, retouching used to be such an art form. It was like, you know, plumbing and construction, electrical work, where you have to get a apprenticeship. You know, there's a union and all this stuff, and all those guys were told either you learn the computer or you quit. So a lot of them quit, but then with them came the whole system. So now anyone with a computer is retouching pictures, and it's not necessarily a good thing for the industry, because there's a lot of garbage out there, you know. And but so that's my goal, I guess you could say, in what I'm doing here, is trying to show you some good techniques, because you're going to have to do your own work much of the time. I would hope that you would hire me to do it for you. But if you're going to do it yourself, you should do it, I think, right. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to show you. So let's turn it off. So before, after. You see what I'm doing? I'm helping the hat. But I got to be careful, you know, because otherwise I can start up here as my source, and I'm option clicking, by the way, and we get this. You know, we can't do that. We have to. Now, here's something that everyone likes to ask about, and I think it's a good thing to eliminate, is the red eye. Okay, there's a lot of ways to get rid of red eye, and there's a lot of automatic tools that work really nice. I'm kind of old-fashioned. I'm still doing it myself.
If you know how.
If you know how, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Right, right.
Automatic ones, I don't like the automatic.
So let's get that lasso tool, and we'll select the eyes here. Okay, and let me shift and click and drag and make this lasso. This is old-fashioned, but it's crude, and I'm doing it again for demonstration purposes, to try to make it look simple as much as possible, and then maybe teach you something that you don't know. So I feathered it to soften it. Then I go to image adjustment, hue saturation. And then there's a saturation slider, and what that means is it gets rid of the color. Okay? And then I might have to pull down in the lightness a little bit. Okay? Now we hit OK. So before, after, we don't know what color eyes he had. I think he was blue eye. Is he?
No.
What color eyes is he?